It's the Derby Debrief on Facebook Live. Good evening to you. We are talking about Carlisle United 0, Derby County 2 at Brunton Park. 2 goals from James Collins, one of which was his 200th career goal. We'll be hearing from him in a moment or two about that achievement and what a wonderful achievement it is. But let's talk first of all with Shaun Barker about the game. Quality at times wasn't there, but away from home in that tight ground that we spoke about right at the start of the afternoon. 2 goals, clean sheet, Collins on the score sheet twice, 3 points back down the road, job done. Yeah,
lots of positives. At times it wasn't free-flowing and in possession we maybe forced too many passes and didn't control the ball as well as we can do at times. But I thought we defended well throughout. The 2 centre-halves looked very assured next to each other with Nelson and Erin Cashin. I thought in general we had 20 maybe minutes at the start of the game where Carlisle sat back and we dominated and stepped forward well and had little intricacies in behind Carlisle with Mendes Lang, Sibbs and Waggy, and then that kind of changed after the goal. We could have scored a second. I think Mendes Lang had a 1v1, Carlisle had another opportunity. And when we didn't get that second, they just grew. I think they changed it a little bit in terms of the formation and the players that they had. They grew into the game and were probably the better team for long spells. But saying that the delightful thing was that we defended well and we kept it at 1-0 and we managed the game at times, and it felt like a really kind of accomplished away performance at times. And Carlisle was excellent up front. I thought he led the line well, scored obviously his goal, got the penalty for the second goal, and obviously took the penalty. So many positives, and it felt like a solid away performance without excelling, without being brilliant, but doing the job and coming back with all 3 points.
Yeah, and being away from home, that means that we're not as concerned about the performance, because you do have these schools of thoughts that a good team is one that can play badly but get a result. On the other hand, though, if you play badly all the time, those performances are going to catch up with you, aren't they?
You play for Derby County, and with Derby County comes an expectation when you're playing in front of 30,000 people week in, week out at home. That's where we found that a little bit more difficult this season. Pressure, expectation, how you play and how you perform, and whether you get results with that. Away from home, if you're looking to get in the top 6, it's about results. It's as simple as that. And I think we've done that well enough over the last couple of months to say we can get performances away from home in terms of what that performance is, what we expect within that performance. Now, clean sheets, defending well, scoring at the right times and competing and kind of winning your duels, we've done that. And I think we've done that again this afternoon. Those home performances then come with the pressure of maybe being a little bit better in possession, controlling the games at times. And that's still where we're just trying to kind of work our way and find our feet. But we're looking at a very strong squad. More players are coming in. The new boy performed well. You look at the bench and we've got options. So at the moment it's looking really positive, and away performances and away results are complementing that.
It was interesting on Tuesday night that Paul Warne agreed with what we'd been saying in the commentary and in the studio and with the decision of player of the match. Let's see if he agrees with our assessment this evening. We can go back to Brunton Park and hear from him now.
Paul, well done. 2-0 win away from home. What are you feeling after that one?
Relieved, I think. I'd like us to obviously play better. We had moments in the game, defended reasonably well. There were some good performances, but you know, I'd obviously like some better performances. But yeah, we've done enough to win, and away from home in League One, well, in any league, it's just about winning. So I've said this loads of times, I know, but we'll play significantly better and lose, and we'll play a lot worse and win, I suppose. But yeah, overall okay, and pleased to win.
What did you like about the performance then?
I think I thought we saw the game out quite well. I thought the last 20 minutes we were pretty resolute. I thought the back line were good, like Cash and Nels defended the crosses. Nels done a lot of tidying up. Joe looked really mature in goal. The 2 fullbacks defended well, and we looked dangerous on the counter. So I enjoyed that part of the game, although we should have made more out of our counters, I think. I enjoyed that part of our game. I enjoyed the first 15-20 minutes when we had a bit of control, but we've done a lot of unforced errors today, which isn't really like us. So we need to get better on the ball, I think. Yeah, and they're the highlights, I think.
clearly there are areas that you want to improve, but do you feel that sort of that will come with maybe sort of winning some games and getting some momentum going? Because you mentioned, I think last week, it's been a bit stop-start so far this season.
Yeah, well, we have a good week with the lads this week, which is good. So I'm looking forward to that, and you can build off wins. I mean, I don't, hand on heart, it doesn't bother me how we play if we win. It's an easier interview to say, look, we could be better, but we've won 2-0. So, not being disrespectful to Carlisle, they're 3 points behind us before today's game. So we can't turn up and think we have a desired right to win football games. But I do think we play better. But I thought we defended well. I just disappointed a few times we give the ball away needlessly. So and obviously we'll watch the game back. It might look better than I feel at this moment. But I'm pleased with the win, and the dressing room are pleased. We've been a bit down. It's been a tough week for us, so we're really pleased that we could finish it with a win.
2 goals for James Collins. He's now on 200 in club football, which is some achievement.
Wow, it's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, really pleased for him. Like, he dedicates his life to football, wants to play every minute of every game. But in fairness, he took his goal well. He probably could have had another one first half that I need to speak to him about. And he won the penalty, he took the penalty, so it doesn't get much better than that for a striker. And I thought he was our physical presence up top today, and we needed it. And places like this, you need a physical presence because you're under the cosh. And like, you can be wax lyrical about any of the players when you win, but I think the thing with Colo that I don't know if people notice, but his actual out of possession stuff is really good. But what he's very good at is helping us defend set pieces. He's really good at that, and he brings a massive part to our game as well. And like I said, away from home, they score a corner from a corner or a free kick, and they had a lot. All of a sudden, it's 1-1, and you're against it. So he plays a massive part in that as well. So yeah, really pleased for Colo, and it's something he'll look back. I mean, he looks back at it probably this minute with pride, but I know his son will be buzzing. So the fact he's got another 2 and got 200 goals at any level is impressive. So in later life, he'll be even prouder.
Brought Ryan Nyambi in this week, came straight into the side. Were you pleased with his performance?
Yeah, excellent. He gets close to people, defends well. Look, Kane was excellent midweek, but that's Kane's first game, and we've got to try and manage the players, and keep him fit and healthy. So, and I thought when Kane came on, he was a handful. He plays like he's 15 at school. I buzz off people like that, although running to get the ball in the last minute isn't great. But but I thought Ryan done really well. I've congratulated him in there for his professional debut. So that is obviously a joke before someone writes in. Played loads of games. He just looked a bit assured, and that's sort of what we needed. And in times of the game today, a bit of calm helped. So yeah, really pleased, and it's nice for him to start with a clean sheet and a win, and hopefully there's many more to come.
We had a tremendous away backing again today, which I know is always the case, but it's a hell of a long trip up here, and they made their voices heard. You must be pleased for them to go home with a win.
Yeah, really pleased, and it's nice. Obviously, there's not many in football. You've got to enjoy the nice times, even if it's only for 60 seconds, that you can go over and enjoy it with the team and your staff and the fans. So yeah, really appreciate people coming. I've got a funny feeling a lot of people are thinking, that's one less stadium to come to, so hopefully we don't have to, no offence, we don't have to come here next year, because there'll probably be half, because everyone's going, well, I've been there, I don't need to go there again. But I appreciate how far it is, and obviously the lads enjoy winning in front of the fans, and 2 wins in a week, however they come, whoever they're against, are welcome. So we can finish the week really proud of our efforts.
And just lastly, a full week on the training ground before another 3-game week next week. You're looking forward to getting down to some work again on the training ground?
Yeah, we are, and we'll do some on the training ground, and we'll obviously do some in the classroom as well, because that's essential that we try and eradicate some of our poorer play, and also trying to give the lads the confidence in their really good play. And there was some really good parts today, but we just need more of it, and we're always trying to push performances and push standards and make the lads better individually and collectively, and that's what a week gives you. It gives you an opportunity to go back to the training ground, reinforce messaging. I can see there's a couple of things that weren't amazing today that we work with the lads, and hopefully come next week we'll be amazing at that, and we win 3-0 at home and everyone's happy. So that's what we'll work towards, and it's always nice to have that week after a win.
Paul Warne, we always like to talk about body language and try and read between the lines with the way the manager is. He's not totally buzzing with that result, is he? Because he'll know, and he said their performance wasn't where he thinks it should be.
Yeah, I think Paul's really careful at not getting too excited when you win and you perform well, and not too down as well when you are below par. He tries to keep a level head and keep everything consistent. And at times this season, probably the team have showed a lack of maybe that consistency in his performance. But I think he'll be pleased with the result. Clean sheet, all the little things you need away from home, the little details when you score, how you manage the game. I agree, I thought the last 20 minutes or so we defended really well, and I thought we countered and looked a threat on the counter. For long spells, I don't think we were great, and I don't think the in-possession stuff he'll be too pleased with, but he understands the importance of winning away from home and coming back with all 3 points. So even though he might not seem buzzing, I'm sure he'll sleep better tonight than when you pick up a loss and a good performance.
Yeah, we'll talk more about James Collins in a few moments and that achievement of 200 career goals, because we're going to hear from him shortly. But let's talk about a couple of the other sort of things from the match today. You're a defender. The performance of Nelson and Cashin together, I mean, exemplary. I mean, every time I watch Aaron Cashin, he just seems to me to be getting better and better.
Well, Cash has been like that for the year and a half that he's been in the first team. He really has. He's got a knack of making blocks, defending the box well. He's very good on the ball. Guilty at times of maybe forcing a few passes, which he did in that first half where there was an easier pass. But he's such a confident young defender and always looking to create something as well as defending the box. I thought he was excellent and actually grew and grew as the game went on. I thought the last 20 minutes, every single time the ball went in the box, it was Aaron Cash in there, clearing, blocks, defending well. And Curtis Nelson alongside him, he was guilty in the first maybe month or so of individual errors and mistakes and maybe not doing the right thing at the right time, which was a surprise to me, knowing the experience and know-how he has of the game. The last 4 or 5 games, I think he's been outstanding. I watched him naturally because I was a centre-half throughout the 90 minutes, and he didn't put a foot wrong all afternoon. Everything he did well, he did clean, he did kind of solid. And between the two of them, there's a really nice balance. And the back four defended well. Wildsmith had to make some saves in the first half, which you'd expect, and he did. So defensively, as a unit, we limited them to very, very few chances. And that just allows those attacking players to have the opportunity of looking forward rather than just having to do their defensive work.
And talking about not getting overexcited about things, which we discussed, when you actually look back on the little run that Derby, and the word in the interview that you picked up on was momentum, wasn't it? Because actually, look back at those recent results, and there are some reasons to start thinking, oh, hang on, there is that momentum.
There is. You look at the last 5 games, and we've played against the top of the league, got a draw. Obviously, a couple of really good away performances with goals. And you forget that Bolton was a game where the referee really didn't help us, made some really poor decisions, and you're playing against very, very good teams. The last game, obviously, against Lincoln was a positive result and performance. So over the last 5 or 6 games, there is momentum there. And I think it's been slightly underwhelming that we get into this position and we're expecting fireworks week in, week out, and that hasn't happened, but we're still going about our business week in, week out at the moment, getting results, getting performances that are enough to see us over the line. And I think Paul will realise that over the course of the season, especially at home, performances will have to raise if you want to make sure that you've got comfortable and reasonably kind of positive results and performances. But at the moment, we're just doing what we need to do, and that's not a bad thing at all. Hopefully, when the players are fully fit, when you've got a full squad, when you've got even more confidence within your group, both as a player and a manager, that week in, week out you're going to perform, I think we'll go from strength to strength. But at the moment, it's a really positive sign, and I think the momentum is with us.
Well, let's talk about the goal scorer, James Collins. I mean, we've both just been there on Soccer Base, Wikipedia, Soccerway, all of those statistical websites that are available to us. 200 career goals and 2 more today.
Yeah, incredible, really, and congratulations to Carlisle, because that is some feat. To get to 200 goals, however long it takes, is a remarkable achievement. And we'll mention his goals, obviously, in terms of how we took the first one, proper goal scorer's instinct and finish. The second one was that know-how of knowing where the goalkeeper is, waiting for him to go to ground and going down and buying yourself a penalty, which it was a penalty because the keeper made contact and he got to the ball first. He obviously took the penalty really well and you never really doubted him. But ignore that, ignore the 2 goals, how he leads the line and how he uses his strength and physicality and know-how and just desire to compete made him a standout player for me this afternoon. He wins his flick-ons, he buys free kicks and fouls for his team, he's tirelessly working without the ball. Managers mentioned there his work within the box as well, defending set pieces, getting his body in the way. His all-round play has been excellent, and I'm delighted for him to get the 200 goals because sometimes some of the work he does goes unnoticed, but it doesn't from an old player like me.
Yeah, forget the goals. He's the number 9, and you're saying forget the goals. Is the key now just to kind of fit the other bits of the puzzle in around James Collins, whether that is Mendes Lang, what is the role for Martin Waghorn? Is it Connor Washington that should be there, Louis Sibley?
Well, I think you've got the players to...
yeah,
well, if you think 3 weeks ago we were talking about Waggy, everything he touches, hits the back of the net. That's what you want. You want the manager to have Colo come in 1 week and get 2 goals and lead the line well, and then Waggy come in the week after, get himself a first half hat-trick. These are the problems that the manager needs, and I think with Connor Washington only a couple of games ago talking about how well he runs in behind and stretches the pitch. He has options. The detail is how are you going to fit them all in certain games, and how are you going to make the most of the standout players when they're on form and on song, like Mendes Lang, like Louis Sibley, that are just kind of in and around the centre forwards. And we have players coming back. Barks is obviously back on the pitch and been instrumental in the last couple of games. So we've got players that can make a difference. We've got goal scorers in there. We have an abundance of talent. How he manages that and how he gets the best of that is what the manager gets paid for, is to work with the players week in, week out and get performances from them and get performances from teams. So he's in a good position and he's got some good players, good characters. Let's see if he can get the best out of them.
And let's hear it from the man who today joined the 200 club, James Collins.
Colo, 200 goals in club football is a huge milestone. How did that feel?
Yeah, amazing. Proud moment for myself and my family, and it's took a lot of games to get there, but to get there is obviously fantastic. I think it's 201, but you think it's 200. But listen, whatever it is, it's all about the lads today. We got a great result, and I think it's been a good week. Disappointed, just obviously concede last week after Portsmouth last minute, but we got a good result Tuesday, and then backed it up with a good away performance today, and it's a good week for the lads.
We'll come on to the performance a bit more in a second, but we'll just stay on your milestone for now.
Yeah.
How long have you had your eye on that one?
Yeah, ever since last year. I knew when I signed for Derby, I was on 185, so it was one of my targets to get to 15 last year. Didn't quite manage it, got to 12. So at the start of this year, I thought I want to get it done as quick as possible. And listen, I think we're 8 games in now, so I managed to get it done, pass it, and I don't want to stop there. I want to keep going. More games I play, obviously with strikers, we all want to score goals, and hopefully I can get many more.
If you were speaking to a young James Collins now and you told him he'd score 200 goals in club football, what would he say?
He'd say you're bonkers. No, to be honest, like I was never blessed with unreal talent as a kid, but what I did, I worked hard, and I've done my extras, and I listened to people at the right times, and always managed to be the one that used to sniff out chances. So I don't know if maybe that's something that stayed with me, but no, I'm really proud of the achievement, and it's what every footballer wants to do. They want to score goals, don't they? They do say it's the hardest thing to do in football, but to get to 201, I'm really proud. It's probably only just sinking in now, really, but I'm really happy.
On to the performance today. What did you make of it on the whole?
Bit scrappy at times. I think we rode our luck a little bit as well. They woodwork a couple of times. But I thought we defended really well. I think the back four and Joe done really well, and Corey in front of them as well, I thought was excellent. And I thought we looked a threat on counter-attacks as well. I thought Natty looked sharp, Waggy was getting in, and obviously Tom and Washi come on as well, and we got in behind them. So I think maybe if we got another goal, it would have settled everything down. We've got one earlier, But listen, clean sheet on the road is obviously what you want.
Away from home, how much is it about digging in those kind of situations?
It's always about digging in. I think it's never going to go your way. The crowd were right behind them, and to be fair, they play some decent football at times. They put you under pressure. Excuse me. They put you under pressure and they put it in your box, and that's why we needed the back four and Joe to get us out of trouble at times. And then you've got to hopefully get your forward lads get you the goals and get you over the line.
Last season there were difficulties on the road. I know you struggled as a group to pick up results. How nice is it to be at the opposite end of that spectrum this year with 3 wins from 4 on the road?
Well, we knew something needed to change from last year. It's sort of been the opposite this year. Like, our home form's not been as good and away form's been good, but it's weird. I think it's hard to connect the two. But listen, we're in a process now. We've obviously got getting players back. We've had a lot of players with tough injuries and stuff, but we're getting them lads back now, and we're getting a full strength side. So away from home is going to be really important, and keep picking up points and then get the home form back on track, and I think we'll be fine.
Back-to-back wins this week with the EFL Trophy win on Tuesday night. How much confidence will you take from that as a group?
Yeah, massive, because I think we were a bit disappointed we didn't go further in the competition last year. But listen, Lincoln were again a team in our league, tough opposition, but I thought we looked comfortable on Tuesday as well. Made a few changes as well, so it just shows how strong our squad is. But no, it's been a good week. Listen, 4 points and I know a win in the cup in a week, you take it all day.
Do you feel like you're starting to click now as a group?
I think so, yeah. It's always hard when you get players coming to the team and then you get injuries and stuff. But once you get settled and once you get everyone back fit and once the lads are great, like, you know, the lads they're brilliant. The staff are great with us, and we're all in it together. We're all sitting there this morning having breakfast together, having talk, telling stories and stuff. So it's nice. It's a nice group, and listen, we all want to achieve promotion together. So hopefully we can.
Those supporters obviously want you to as well, and they've turned out in numbers today. They were brilliant, weren't they?
Unreal. I was saying before, like when I scored in the first half, I was gutted it weren't at the other end, but delighted I managed to get a goal down the other end in front of them, because they were great today. And like I said before, we were on the coach for 5 hours yesterday, so they've obviously done the same. And to get 1,500 of them come today, and it's fantastic. And their away support is don't go unnoticed by the lads.
Oh, congratulations.
James Collins speaking to us after his 200th career goal. Let's have a look at the results then elsewhere in League One today. Bloomfield Road, Blackpool 4, Reading 1, Bristol Rovers 4, Wigan Athletic 1, Burton Albion 1, Fleetwood Town 1. 1 apiece between Cambridge United and Port Vale. Cambridge next up, of course, for Derby. Carlisle United 0, Derby 2, as we know about. Charlton 3, Wycombe 1. Cheltenham Town 0, Stevenage 3. Leyton Orient 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. Northampton Town 1, Barnsley 2. Oxford United 3, Exeter City 0. And Portsmouth, top of the table. They beat Lincoln City by 2-1. So how does that affect the League One table? I said Portsmouth, top of the table. Oxford United, second in the table. The promotion positions there and the playoff positions are Stevenage, Port Vale, Barnsley and Exeter. Bolton Wanderers now up to 7th. Derby up to 9th with 13 points. Just look at the bottom of the table there for you. Cheltenham Town, Fleetwood Town, Reading and Wigan Athletic in the 4 relegation positions, with Burton Albion just sitting above them. But it's very, very tight, isn't it, that table at the moment? And you feel a little bit like last season. Derby went on that great run, didn't they? And you feel if a team that's where Derby are at the minute can put a bit of a run together, you will see them rocketing up that table. Yeah, you will. Any team that managed to get a real momentum and a run together can make a big jump up the league. And you look at a couple of the teams up in that top 6 that are a little bit of a surprise, have started the season really, really well, really positively. But you'd expect some of the bigger boys, some of the bigger teams to push on with the strengthened squad and players they have at their disposal. So I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I think they're coming together, the group, at kind of intermittent times, and it not having a real kind of flowing pre-season. I think we'll get better and I think we'll get stronger. And I think the more
the players we have, the fit of the players, the size of the squad. At times around the Christmas period when there's teams that really struggle for numbers and struggle to put a team together, that's where the strength and depth, the quality that Paul brings in will make a difference. So at the moment, nicely poised. We've got a bit of momentum, we've got a bit of belief, we're getting results. So it's looking really positive.
And a week now, having had the international break, game midweek, now a week before coming back here to Pride Park.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big thing for me this season, Pride Park, how we perform, how we manage to get on here at Pride Park. And it's been such a huge part of this football club over the last few years, and getting performances and results in front of 25, 30,000 has been a big part of how it's dealt with some really difficult times. Away from home, I've mentioned, I don't think we'll have any problems. I think the way that we can defend, the way that Paul will set them up and at times press high up the pitch and have energy, and also at times just to drop back and catch teams on the counter. The home performance and the home results are going to be key, and that's that little bit of detail that you just need to work on.
Thank you very much for your company. See you next weekend. Looking forward to that already. We were just hearing there, weren't we, from James Collins. It took the team 5 hours to get to Carlisle, a journey through the Lake District. And whilst the performance wasn't pretty, the result, an example of outstanding natural beauty. Good night.